Hey guys, Ya here of Elite Body Data, and I had the pleasure of working with 4 amazing people over the last 8 weeks, helping them realize how data could help them reach their individual goals. I talk about that a lot on my YouTube channel, and it's sometimes hard for people to kind of understand what it means to use this data in a meaningful way to get results. So I set myself out on a challenge to find 2 men and 2 women who were willing to allow me access to their workouts and nutrition logs, and were willing, of course, to sit in front of the camera and talk to you guys out there so you can get a better understanding of how resting metabolic rate data testing, body fat testing via ultrasound or another device that's similar, and lastly, using devices such as the Styku 3D scan can help you measure your changes throughout the course of your workout and nutrition program. So we have 2 men and 2 women who successfully completed 8 weeks, and you're going to be looking at a little bit of what it was for them that got them to that next level. Was it knowing their calories? Was it knowing their body fat percentage? Was it a combination of everything? Those are the insights that I would love for you guys to stick around and watch and hear what they have to say about their experience using Elite Body Data, and hopefully you will better understand how this data is something that is powerful when applied the right way and when it's understood. So keep watching. What is your name?
My name is John.
Debbie.
My name is Latoya.
Marty.
How old are you?
25.
Your height?
6'1".
And when you started this challenge, what was your weight?
I was 218 pounds.
And did you lose any scale weight?
Yeah, so now I am 205 pounds, so I lost about 13 pounds.
Wow.
59.
And your height?
5'4".
Your starting weight?
147.
And at the end of this challenge, did you lose any scale weight?
Yes.
What are you at now?
142.
Perfect.
I'm 38 years old.
Your height?
I'm 5'6".
And your starting weight?
My starting weight was 158 pounds.
And did you lose any scale weight during this challenge? If so, how much?
Yes, I lost a whopping 9.3 pounds.
Wow.
48.
How tall are you?
6 foot,
What was your starting weight?
190 pounds.
Did you lose any scale weight? If so, how much?
I did. I lost 8 pounds.
All right, John, why did you enter this challenge?
So I entered this challenge just because I wanted to restructure my eating habits and to lose weight. I wanted to get as close to 200 pounds as possible and to get some help with my binge eating habits.
I wanted to learn to better manage my relationship with weight and food.
That's a really good goal.
I entered this challenge for 2 reasons. The first reason was to finally be consistent with a program. I have tried a lot of programs, and usually by week 3, I just give up because I may make 1 or 2 missteps. And I just felt that the fact that I see your success, that it kind of motivated me to do something and commit to it and be consistent. Also, I know I needed to lose weight, so weight loss was also a big factor.
I entered in order to lose some pounds.
Awesome. And then you had that goal in mind. Would you say that you crushed it during this challenge?
Yeah, I think I did. I'm only 5 pounds away from 200, so I'm right on the mark.
Wow.
Got closer to crushing this goal, but I started on the path.
That's incredible.
So my number 1 goal was to start this and actually finish it. That sounds really basic, but when you have given up on so many things, in terms of your own personal health, it was a huge accomplishment to me to consistently complete something for this period of time. And my other goal was to lose 8 pounds, and I did crush that goal.
Yes, that's incredible.
Basically, since the goal was to lose weight and I dropped 8 pounds, I did crush it. I set my goal weight at 185 and I blew past it to 182.
And would you say yes or no to this question? Did Elite Body Data help you reach your goals?
Oh, definitely, without a doubt.
And what was the one thing that you think really helped from the data testing perspective in regards to you reaching your goals?
So when I I have this fascination with weight loss. So I have arbitrary numbers in mind. Like I've always wanted to be 185. So coming from around 220 to 185, just because of the number. But looking at the data, I looked at, my excess fat and where exactly my pounds are going, and I realized I didn't need to get that small. So it went from wanting to be around 185 to just wanting to be slightly under 200.
Wow, that's awesome.
Absolutely.
And what ways would you say that we helped you?
I think historically I've always undereaten, and I exercise a lot, but I wasn't losing any weight, and I realized I needed to intake more calories so that I could lose weight.
Yeah, and you definitely succeeded at that.
Elite body data did help me reach my goals. It helped me reach my goals for a number of reasons. I walked out of a room knowing that I had accountability not only to myself, but to all of the people that I met that day and that I interacted with. And there were so many different tools put in place that you had to do on a daily basis that it allowed me to have reminders and stay on task. So there was in-person accountability, and then there was the day-to-day electronic accountability.
Absolutely. It helped me focus in on my caloric intake, which helped me to keep on plan in order to lose the weight.
Here at Elite Body Data, we use the Staiku 3D body scan. Were you shocked when you saw your before and after?
Yeah, super shocked, because this was the first time I got to visually see my progress. For the past 2 months, I have been getting comments from people about them being able to feel me losing weight when I would hug them and things like that. So to actually see it in clay form, I can see all of the weight that I've lost in my chest and in my torso. So yeah, I'm super shocked.
I wasn't really happy with the first one. I wouldn't say I was shocked. I was happy, but I could feel my body changing during the challenge.
That's great.
So I did just see it, and I was very shocked, especially in the waist area.
I was. I was expecting to lose some weight and have it shown, but I didn't expect it to really manifest itself in the 3D body scan.
And a key indicator of health is losing inches in your abdominal waist area. So how many inches did you lose in your waist?
I lost 1.3 inches.
That's awesome.
0.4.
1.1 inches. But in other areas, I lost close to 2 inches, and that's huge.
4.6.
And the other thing we use here is the body metrics device. So did your body fat percentage change? If so, how much?
Yeah, so I went from 22.8 to 21.2%, so I lost 1.6%.
Awesome. And did you lose excess fat at all?
Yep, 2% came from excess fat, and that is 4.7 pounds.
Wow. And did you lose any healthy fat?
No, but I gained 1 pound of it.
Okay, that's not a bad thing. Did you lose any water weight?
Yeah, I lost 4 pounds of water weight.
Wow, so that's why we can see all that definition.
Yeah.
Did you lose any muscle?
Yep, 1.4 pounds of muscle.
And that's very common. People don't realize we can't control where we lose weight, but it's nice to be able to see that information. And that's it.
Changed about 3%.
That's awesome. And did you lose any excess fat? That's important.
6.2 pounds.
And did you lose any healthy fat?
No. Or maybe a little bit.
Just a little bit. And did you lose any water?
No.
My change was incremental. It was just under 1%.
Did you lose any excess fat? If so, how much?
I did. I lost 1.2 pounds.
Did you lose any healthy fat? If so, how much?
I did. I lost just under 2 pounds.
And did you lose any water weight?
I did. I lost 4 pounds.
I went from 23.6 to 19.5, so my body fat percentage, it was a change of 4.1%.
Did you lose excess fat? If so, how much?
I did. I lost 12.9 pounds of excess fat.
And did you lose any healthy fat? If so, how much?
Actually, I gained healthy fat. I gained 3.8 pounds of healthy fat.
Did you lose any water? If so, how much?
And I did gain some water, though, 1.6.
During the Elite Body Data Challenge, you were asked to track your calories using MyFitnessPal. Would you say using MyFitnessPal helped you reach your goals? Why or why not?
Yeah, it definitely did. So my calorie limit for the day is 2,500. And I do struggle with binge eating and snacking throughout the day. So there was a point in the program where I noticed that I consumed about 1,000 calories in snack. So I just had 1,500 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that was the moment for me where I actually got to see how bad my binge eating is and how I needed to restructure my eating habits. In terms of like the days where I'm always on the go and I find myself snacking more, I had to, eat more nutritious snacks and just restructure my meals around, my snacking so that I am nutritiously meeting those calorie goals.
Awesome. That's amazing that you found that much time to sit back and reflect on how helpful it's been.
Yes, and at first I kind of hated the process, but then it became just part of every day, and I kind of look forward to it, and it helped me get my arms around what I was doing, and it became much more intuitive.
Yes, it did help me reach my goals. There were several times when I wanted to eat something, and I would check the calories and before I ate it, and based on that, there were times when I would eat a smaller portion or make a smarter decision with a healthier meal.
Absolutely helped me reach my goals. Within the app, if I hadn't been tracking my calories, I would have been way overeating.
Yeah.
And were you shocked by your RMR number? So the RMR is a test that determines how many calories you need to eat. So in order to do this challenge, you needed to know how many calories you could eat and still lose weight. Were you shocked by that number?
Yeah, I was scared more than anything else because, like I said, my calorie goal was 2,500, and this seems like such an extensive amount, which it was in the beginning. It was a challenge to adjust to, but after a while, it became easier, and it actually made me, create fuller meals. They were heartier breakfast, lunches, and dinners, and it helped me snack less throughout the day as well. So it made me become more conscious about how nutritious my meals actually were.
That's awesome.
Totally shocked.
So I wasn't necessarily shocked, that's not the right word I would say for me, but I was surprised. The amount was more than I was eating or more than what I thought I should be eating. So I kind of was suspicious on how I could have results with a higher calorie intake.
Yeah, definitely I was.
So before this challenge, you were just kind of eating whatever. Roughly how many calories were you eating?
Oh, it depends because I think through this challenge, I've been eating more consistent. So without this challenge, I was eating maybe less during the weekday, but a ton more during the weekends. I was binging on food and fast food and alcohol on top of that.
Oh, wow. So this is nice to be able to have that information to keep you focused.
I was eating much less before.
I was eating less on a day-to-day basis, but then on weekends I would binge and eat way more than that.
Way more. I had just come off of a session of bulking, so in the weight loss challenge, I had much less to eat and much less calories to eat. So the 1,800 that I was allotted was a big shock to me.
And in the app MyFitnessPal, they actually provide a calorie prediction. How different was your number in MyFitnessPal compared to the Elite Body Data RMR number?
Yeah, the RMR number was 2,500, but the MyFitnessPal app number was 2,200. So it was a 300 calorie difference.
Yeah, you would have been mighty hungry, I would gather.
I think it was about 300 calories.
That's a big difference.
300 calories more.
Wow. So you get to eat 300 calories more than MyFitnessPal told you?
Correct.
Wow.
The RMR gave me a calories of 1,800, and the MyFitnessPal gave me a lot of calories of 2,300, so it was a 500 calorie difference. I would have been a completely different look if I had continued through the MyFitnessPal.
And the other thing I want to ask, but you kind of answered it anyway, but maybe this would be helpful anyway to still ask it now. knowing your weight loss calorie range, did it relieve any stress or doubt that you had about nutrition?
Yeah, for the most part, I thought that weight loss was a matter of eating much less and restricting extensively the things that you can and can't have. But I realized so much is fine in moderation, as long as you're being like super conscious about the things, because I didn't cut too many things out of my diet. I just went down on portion size.
Amazing.
Oh, absolutely, because I grew up thinking to lose weight, you eat less, and that was what was actually preventing me from losing weight.
So it just gave me clear directions, which is what I needed in order to be successful.
Yes and no. Knowing where my correct calorie range is always going to be very important, but also knowing how low it was gave me a little bit of fear as far as how hungry I was going to be and how I was going to adjust to that new calories.
And did you find getting your body fat tested with the excess fat, muscle, and water via the body metrics helped you structure your physique goals or kept you motivated?
Yeah, it kept me structured because I wanted to lose a certain amount of weight arbitrarily, so that helped me see actually where I could benefit from losing weight and gaining muscle.
Well, my trainer does that for me.
It did. It certainly did. It also kept me accountable because I had a baseline somewhere to start. And when you have those numbers in front of you, it allows you to kind of set your goals of what you want to see at the end of your challenge and what you would like to see overall. So yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Knowing those numbers gives me a fantastic baseline in order to progress from there.
And the last question, did you discover, like, what was the one number that you saw on the body metrics that made you go, whoa?
Probably that I had, in the beginning, I had 12 pounds of excess fat.
Wow.
And that showed me, okay, so if I lose anywhere between 10 to 12 pounds, I'll feel comfortable. Because before that, in my head, I was like, I need to lose 30 pounds.
Probably the body fat number.
Yeah, 3% reduction's amazing.
I like to think I'm fairly familiar with my body, so there wasn't too much that was shocking me. I mean, the calories kind of threw me, but I kind of knew where my body was going to be at.
You were asked to wear a MyZone heart rate monitor. Did you enjoy wearing it? Why or why not?
Yeah, it was actually my favorite part of the program because I love working out and visually being able to gauge my performance during that workout. And 9 times out of 10, it did make me work harder when I saw my heart working in the red zone.
Awesome.
I loved wearing the monitor, and that was another thing I had to get used to, but I loved seeing when I got into the red zone, and I loved seeing at what level my workouts were, but then it crashed, and I never was able to get it set back up again. It just wouldn't log in with my phone, so that was super frustrating.
So I loved wearing my heart rate monitor, my MyZone. It was something that I knew within the first few times of trying it that I would be purchasing it whether I successfully completed this challenge or not. So it was a constant reminder. I don't know what it was about the red band, but it was always in my purse everywhere I went, and whenever I found a moment, I strapped it on and worked my hardest for that short period of time that I had.
I did. It would help me to really dial in my workouts.
And did you learn anything about yourself during the time that you wore it?
Yeah, I run a lot, but I just noticed how much potential I wasn't maximizing during my running exercises because when I get tired, I'll start to slow down, but seeing my heart rate up encouraged me to run at a faster pace. So I think my running speed has increased.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I learned how to get my heart rate up and how to sustain it, and it was really fun to watch.
Yes, I learned that cardio is the quickest way to get my heart rate up. I also learned that I hate burpees, but while doing them, I am in the red zone, so I should probably do them more often.
I was able to determine what workouts would give me the highest calorie burn as far as weight training, a cardio session, or even playing hockey. I would play hockey and it would give me the largest calorie burn that I could get.
So the end of the challenge is here. What was the difficult part of the whole 2 months, would you say?
The most difficult part for me will probably have been the tracking my food on my FitnessPal every day. And that was just a matter of me not meal prepping as often or being more mindful of the things that I would be eating on a daily basis. So knowing that I would actually have to track my calories encouraged me to meal prep more, eat more routinely, spice it up here and there, but I wanted somewhat of a rigid schedule for me because it was easier for me to track. But I do think that actually logging that data was the most difficult part.
Okay.
So I got an allergy infection that went into my lungs, and that took me out for about 3 weeks. And I worked, like, the week I was getting sick and worked out, and the week I was getting better, but that middle week I was just killed. And that was hard to bounce back after that.
Nutrition, as well as psyching myself out. The rules of this particular challenge were probably the most doable that I've ever experienced on any challenge I've done. And so as a result of that, my mind kept looking for there to be more rules when there wasn't. And so I think anyone entering this challenge, if they could just follow what they are told and kind of empty their brain and not overanalyze, you'll definitely see results in nailing the nutrition.
My biggest difficulty would have been spreading out the calories over the course of the day. It was more difficult in the beginning of the challenge to kind of figure out where I wanted to eat certain things at certain times of the day. But as it progressed, I was able to kind of dial it all in and find out eat certain things at certain times of the day and other things at other times in the day. But yeah, definitely the spreading of the calories over the course of the day.
And now that you know that, are there any tips or tricks you'd give others, or if you did this challenge again, the tips you'd give your future self?
I would say the main thing I used, there was a week to where I couldn't work out as much as I wanted to, but that just encouraged me to do more walking and more yoga, because I noticed that on my walks I was burning about 500 calories anyway. And that's an exercise that's something that I didn't look at as an exercise. I walked for a purpose. So on the days where I wasn't able to get a fuller workout in, I just go for a walk.
Well, I think the thing that really worked for me about the challenge is that it's very manageable, and you can indulge some, you can eat what you want, you just have to be more mindful of everything. And I think if you try to do everything at once, you'll end up doing nothing. So I liked the way that the steps were easy to conquer.
I would say work harder on no alcohol. Once I decreased my amount greatly, I saw huge results. And in addition to that, when you enter a challenge, just remember that you're entering it for yourself and you're making a promise to yourself, and that promise to yourself should be just as important as any other promise that you make to anyone else.
As far as caloric intake, popcorn. Popcorn was my biggest friend. It's a bigger bang for your buck. I could get 190 calories out of one bag of popcorn, and if I was really, really having those hunger pains, it would really stem that tide. Yeah.
So would you do this program again?
Definitely.
Yay! Would you recommend it to a friend?
Well, technically I already have. I have friends asking about my weight loss and how I did it, and I told them all about the program.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, I plan on doing it again.
Ooh, I gotta plan another one now. Would you recommend this challenge to a friend?
For sure.
I certainly would. I am already thinking about what I can ask you to move to the next level and finish up my ultimate goal, which is to weigh 139.
Would you recommend this challenge to a friend?
So I have told so many people about this challenge. I am so surprised if your inbox has not been flooded. I've been telling everyone. I've also shared with them your vlogs and just what a inspirational person you are. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely.
Would you recommend this challenge to a friend?
I have. I have family and friends. I've already brought it up to them multiple times.
And what would you like to change? Because I know this program wasn't perfect, so any tips or advice you'd like to give us?
I would say, to be quite honest, I love the program because it is flexible and there aren't as many rules. It's just, hey, you need to work out 4 times a week and here's your calorie goal, eat whatever as long as it's within this goal. So I did like the flexibility of that. The only criticism was technological. We had technical difficulties with the apps and things like that, but that's nothing about the program specifically.
Thank you so much, John, for participating. We
No problem.
appreciate
Thank you.
New heart monitors. But you really are so friendly and gentle and non-shaming and helpful. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
So I would say that I would probably be more successful with a little more stringent rules or more in-person meetups. That is more time consuming, but just personally for me, I really do well with the accountability of seeing people and perhaps working out with more people.
Honestly, I enjoyed it. The whole ride was a lot of fun for me, between the workouts and really tracking where my body was going to go. And I obviously lost weight because of it, so I loved every bit of it.
I hope you guys were as inspired as I was watching these interviews with these 4 amazing people. They really committed to this 8 weeks. They had to log their food in MyFitnessPal every day. They had to wear a MyZone heart rate monitor as their form of attendance for their workouts. And they had to be vulnerable enough to let me and my videographer interview them and talk about their experience, as well as share all the data that you saw popping around the screen. I hope you guys learned a lot from it. The one thing I would say that I took away is that not a single journey was the same, and that's a takeaway that I hope you guys got as well. And having access to this data allows you to customize your plan, as well as think of your goals a little bit differently, because maybe you need to gain muscle, maybe you need to lose fat, maybe you're only losing a bunch of water weight and you don't know it. It's really cool to know what works for you and what doesn't work for you, and to be able to reflect back, even if nothing was the way that you want it to, but to say, hey, I tried something and I was able to figure out if it was for me or not. So that's what Elite Body Data is all about, allowing people to open up their mind and see the possibilities of having information work for them and not against them, so they can reach their individual goals. And until next time, guys.